Hello there. Sorry if I'm a bit dark at the moment. I'm sure when I continue to walk I will become a bit brighter. So the thing I want to talk about is the importance of connecting or reconnecting or reconfirming that connection with your values, your identity, and also your purpose, so your VIP essentially. Apologies if anyone's already trademarked that as a thing, but it just occurs to me it fits quite nicely together as a collection for obvious reasons. So I've been doing a series of short video posts this week in LinkedIn and also on Facebook and Instagram stories, just a series of posts about my identity, I guess. What I haven't done yet is explain why I'm talking about it, but I will get to that at some point in that short form format, because actually what I have found through being coached myself is that those are the things that come up most frequently as the root issues behind most of the problems that I encounter, in various different ways. So it's not like I'm saying that there's a cookie cutter, just do this approach to fix any issues that you might have in your life. But what I'm finding is that both with myself and with the clients that I work with in coaching, a lot of the issues come back down to reconnecting with those three things. And so that's really why I'm talking about it so much, and I'm going to lead into a bit more of an explanation from those short videos. So essentially, values first of all. So what's actually most important to you? What things are most important to you in life? So it might be that you're one of these people that's able to just rhyme off a few, and that's great. So you can do that as the first part of a structured exercise in reconnecting with your values. There's actually a lot of exercises out there that you can do that will guide you through some questions, and even some, if you're a bit short on ideas like I was when I did this originally, it just gives you whole reams of words, and you can sift through those words and see how much they resonate or connect with you with regards to what's important. And if you're interested in that, just let me know, and I can send you some links of ones to try. And there's also the DiMartini values questions as well. So there's a values assessment that's completely free of charge that you can do via Professor DiMartini. And actually it was a combination of those two things that really helped me when I did this. So I ran through a fairly bog standard template worksheet for values, had a short list, and then to compare and contrast did the DiMartini questions, and actually found that there was something missing from it, which was quite interesting. So it was interesting just to then be coached on why that was missing, and actually why that missing thing was so important. So if you want to read what my values are, I won't list them on here, but if you go onto my webpage through the link tree, if you go to achieveit.personaldevelopment.com, if you go to my coaching approach, there is a list of my values, and just it's my coaching approach essentially. It does what it says on the tin. There's also a short video linked on there as well that just explains what it's like to be coached by me, and how I like to coach essentially, just for anyone that was thinking about potentially working with me in the future. So that's values. So that's part of that triplet that guides you. The next bit is identity, which I think is super important, and this was something that came out fairly recently, and I was recurrently talking about work-related frustrations and issues in coaching whenever I was being coached. And you've got to wonder why that is when there's a theme coming out, just this kind of theme of almost loss of control. And actually ultimately what it boiled down to was it wasn't necessarily control as such. I just suddenly realised that, the way it helped for me to think about it was to think about it as well, it's two spheres of my life, or two pillars of my identity that are in direct opposition to each other. It's actually more than two now I think about it. So we've got the doctor pillar of the identity, which I've alluded to in some shorter videos, and that was kind of the main pillar in my life for a long time. That was my main priority, even to the neglect of being a human individual person and those needs in life. But certainly, I've got a lot of other things going on in my life now that are at least equally as important, if not more important. So I think I'm just slowly rationalising and trying to figure out how best to reconnect with all those other things as well. But that doctor pillar, so the needs and the requirements of the hospital, that sense of duty towards the organisation I work for and the patients that I look after, is quite overwhelming. But equally, my duty and want to be around for my family and be there for my kids is also incredibly strong. So it's at least as strong, if not stronger, to be honest, and that's the thing I'm getting to grips with at the moment. So I think just reflecting on identity. So what are your constituent parts? And again, this is where it's not cookie cutter. This comes down to a very individualized thing. So we all have similar facets or pillars to our life, but we're probably not going to describe them in the same way, and we're definitely not going to all have the same ones or think about them in the same way. So actually I think it's a very individual way of looking at it. So that's identity. And then purpose. So there's a little bit less to say about purpose, believe it or not, but I guess for purpose, insert your why. So why are you doing what you're doing? Also your vision, so just connecting with what your vision is for the future is super important. And it was always something in the past that I never really thought of doing, but then being connected with what my vision was for the future has really just allowed me to work backwards and figure out what I need to be doing now. And I think also if you take it down to a microscopic level, so if you think about the day-to-day stuff that you do and you need to do, I don't know about everyone else, but if I'm asked to do something or I'm doing something, I don't know why I'm doing it, I find it incredibly hard to stick with it. So even just on that getting stuff done point of view, connecting with the purpose of what you're doing, so not just the wider purpose of you and your life and how you see it panning out, but also what you're doing day to day. So why am I doing what I'm doing right now? So that's the VIP. And again, apologies if I'm accidentally stealing that off of anyone, but it just occurred to me the other day that it's quite a neat acronym. So values, identity and purpose. So I think that's really my summary, is that this is the reason why I'm talking about my pillars of identity. I'm really leading into just explaining why these things are so important. If you reconnect with those things, actually you'll be able to figure out why you feel the way you feel, why you're maybe doing something that it doesn't feel right, why you feel a bit conflicted on the inside. So that's the main take-home message. So if you're ever feeling a bit stranded, a bit unsure, a bit conflicted, touch base with your VIP.